This is where your journey transforms from confusion to clarity, from survival to success, and from fear to faith in your future. Every Sunday, we bring you real conversations about finding your true purpose, building skills that pay the bills, grabbing global opportunities, growing your mindset, creating wealth legally, and becoming the success story your family will celebrate. Join Chikazi Sunshine every Sunday from 7 p.m. on Bright FM 98.7 as we bring you practical wisdom from young adults who have walked the path before you. On your mark, get set, grow with Sunshine. Dear young people, wondering if your dreams are still possible in today's Nigeria? Take a deep breath as you begin this growth journey with Sunshine. This is where your journey transforms from confusion to clarity, from survival to success, and from fear to faith in your future. Every Sunday, we bring you real conversations about finding your true purpose, building skills that pay the bills, grabbing global opportunities, growing your mindset, creating wealth legally, and becoming the success story your family will celebrate. Join Chikazi Sunshine every Sunday from 7 p.m. on Bright FM 98.7 as we bring you practical wisdom from young adults who have walked the path before you. On your mark, get set, grow with Sunshine.
All right, fantastic. Good evening to you. Good evening, Abuja. Good evening, Nigeria. How are you guys doing? I hope that you're having a fantastic Sunday evening. Time check is 23 minutes past 4 p.m. It's time for Grow with Sunshine, and my name is Sunshine Chikezie. I'm your host. You know how it is, you know how we do it. Every other Sunday evening, we're here chatting or talking about the growth and the development of young people. It's important to us that we see young people thrive. It's important to us that we see young people grow. And that is why we always touch issues around the growth and the development of young people. We have a guest today, and today we're going to be looking at something really interesting. Like I would always say, tell every young person around you, tell every young person around you, to come close to their radio set, their parents, get your children, get your young people, your teenagers, your young adults close to their radio set. It's about time for us to learn. Get your jotter, get your pen. It's time to write things down because you know how it is. It's about time to grow with Sunshine. Today we're going to be looking at emotional intelligence and how it impacts our everyday lives, right? The last time I think we talked about parenting, and how it is important for us to parent children for societal impact of parenting children with society in mind. Today we're towing the path of emotional intelligence, especially because this conversation cuts across board. So this conversation impacts our everyday living, from career to platonic relationship to romantic relationship to how you interact with people at work, to business. So emotional intelligence cuts across our everyday living. And that's why our topic today is emotional intelligence and how it impacts our everyday lives. So we're going to be breaking it down from definition. And we have a guest in the studio today who is going to help us drive this topic home. He's a man I respect so much. His name is Gbenga Oba, and he's a mentor also to me. He's one person who is also interested in the growth and development of young people, and there's no other person who is worthy of dissecting this topic than him, and he's right here in the studio with us this evening. Good evening, Mr. Gbenga Oba. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you, Bright FM.
Thank you so much. We're going to just dive right into the conversation. For today, like I said earlier, we're going to be breaking the conversation down. We're going to be starting from the question of what emotional intelligence is. We're going to try as much as we can to break it down so that even a teenager who is listening would understand the weight of this topic and how to begin to relate with it and how to begin to apply it in their everyday lives. Like I said before, our guest today is the one person who is going to do justice to this topic for us. And we're starting with exactly what emotional intelligence is. Especially because when I was introducing the topic, Mr. Gbenga, I pointed out how that this topic cuts across our everyday lives. You know, from adults to teenagers to even children, to how you relate with people at work, to how you interact with people even in your business places. Emotional intelligence has a huge role to play, and even with the kind of society that we're building, emotional intelligence has a big role to play. But we have to start out by even understanding what exactly emotional intelligence is, and why an average Nigerian who is listening to us at this point should care about it.
All right, thank you, Sunshine, once again. Good
Thank
evening,
you.
Nigeria. Good evening, Bright FM.
Thank you.
All right, so by way of simple definition, emotional intelligence is ability for an individual. When I mean individual, that's human being, you know, to understand what they are feeling, you know, why they are feeling what they are feeling, and then how that feeling of them can affect or impact other people.
Yes.
So let me take it again. Is the ability for you as an individual to know what you are feeling,
Yes.
the reason why you are feeling what you are feeling, and how that same feelings of yours will affect you, not only you,
Yes.
but people around you. So that's a simple definition of emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence is not really a topic that we discuss every day. It's not a topic that a lot of young Nigerians are interested in or familiar with.
Yeah.
So the question would be, why should anybody listening this evening, you know, why should an average Nigerian care about what we're about to discuss?
Yeah, because life is an emotional experience.
Yes.
So there's no human being, you know, living on earth
Yes.
that does not need another human being. So
You must always relate with
you
people.
must relate with people. Life is designed in, you know, cooperation, in association. We are social beings. Human beings are social beings. So if you need human being, then you should know how to relate with human beings. And at the center of this is emotional intelligence. It's like a fuel. You have a fantastic vehicle, maybe how many mileage per second and all
Yes.
of that, but there's no fuel in it. So how's it going to move? So every Nigerian has emotion, whether dead. Some people are numb. It's important to know that some have what we call emotional numbness. They've gotten to a point where they are numb in their emotion. But regardless, every human being born and living on earth requires emotion. So every Nigerian should care about it, because we live, particularly in Nigeria. In Nigeria, we relate with everybody. You know, in Nigeria, they say if you are rich, you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So we relate together. We are communal beings. And so if you are a communal being, it is evident or it is important that we know how to relate with people.
I want to put it side by side with, you know, mental health now. If there's one conversation that a lot of persons have started raising in this generation, especially with the Gen Zs on board now, is the issue around, you know, mental health awareness. People get triggered easily now. Any little thing can cause mental health breakdown, you know, for young people. Would
Yeah.
you say that part of the reasons why is, I say, we're having a lot of mental health breakdown with young people is that we're having problem understanding what emotional intelligence is and, you know, applying it in our relation with people?
Yes, okay, definitely. You know, anything that has to do with mind, mental health, and you know, at the center of mental health is emotional, is emotion. And managing your emotion, you know, it is also critical to how we do things with each other. Now, you know, Nigerians, like you said, there's a lot of stuff online that is going on. People are getting compared to one another. People are running other people's race and carrying baggages that does not belong to them. So here's the thing. There are so many gates into our mind. We have the eye gate, the ear gate, you know, just our senses regularly. So one of the things that can impact you as an individual as relate to your mental health is what you see around you. So your ability to separate the task. This one concern me. This one,
No
you know,
concern
no concern me. You mind your business. You drink water and mind your business. So when you do that, you've put yourself in a safe spot where you can be saved emotionally. And when you do that, you know, the questions that surrounds now I'm not sounding technical.
Yes.
When we talk about deep down mental health issue like psychosis, like schizophrenia, like all of those, no, we're talking about basic elementary things that can impact our mental health
That we're overlooking.
that we overlook. Do you understand? That we overlook. And you know, sometimes emotion, once something is dropped into your subconscious mind, you think you don't care. But tomorrow or later in the evening when you go, oh man, that thing pay me, that thing really pay me. But when you are emotionally intelligent, don't forget, I started from a definition that your ability to know what you are feeling, why you are feeling that thing that you are feeling, and how that feelings of yours will not only affect you
But the next
but
person.
the next person.
Yes.
So when you have there are so many, that about 6, some call it 5, depending on the school of thought, component, you know, of emotional intelligence. We'll get to that
Yes.
at the end of the day. But then when you're able to do that, whatever the person does or what you do, you can be able to successfully create a safe space.
And regulate it.
Thank you. In fact, that is one of the components of emotional intelligence, emotional regulations. You know, it's just like when you are in a room, the temperature is high.
Yes.
You have the remote control. You increase the AC or you decrease the AC. So that is how it is. So that when you go, you can walk with your shoulder high. So you are not like a flag that is on the pole being tossed around, you know, by every winds of
Any little thing.
any little thing just gets to you, and then you get easily distracted.
Let's talk about how this impacts money, because you know how it is that, you know, the average Nigerian who is listening might say, Sunshine, this thing we they talk today, is it going to put money in my pocket? You know. So let me ask you, can emotional intelligence actually help a young person make money or improve in their career or grow in their career, like experience career growth? And if that's possible, how?
Okay, so when you talk about money, money is a mix of exchange.
Okay.
And wherever you find human being, you will see money there. So you can't go into the thick forest where there are no human beings and hope that you see stacks of dollar
Yes.
or naira there, or those days, those things we used to do in school. Then you will ransack all your trousers thinking one angel
Somehow.
money will come into those trousers.
Yes.
So that's to say that wherever human beings are, there is money there. Now, if the principal contact you need for money is human being, so the onus now is, and money is very emotional, because we don't even spend money without being emotional. That's what we call money dire in psychology. That's in selling or buying psychology. When you do a graph, human beings are rated, the way you spend money, the things you spend money on, if you check your emotional connections to those things, they are high if you plot the graph. So now, if you know that everywhere human being goes, money follows them, then if you now know how to relate with people, how to treat human being, people's skills, then you can be sure of money. And then when it comes to workspace, you cannot live in isolation.
Yes.
Your ability to relate with your colleague, people at your cadre, people below you, people above you, even customer, you know, it is important. Trust me, nobody wants to be treated shabbily.
Yes.
If you treat someone with kindness, with politeness, they will look for you.
Yes, yes.
Every human being has self-esteem. So nobody, in the scheme of things, may God not allow us see where we go prefer money to self-esteem.
Yeah.
In the scheme of things, when people still have their value intact, their values intact, people prefer good self-esteem, respect to money. In my village, they used to say, when you wake up in the morning and you are going to look for money, on your way, as you are looking for that money, if you meet honor, respect, and dignity on the road, they advise you to stay back, go back home, because when you get that money that you are looking for, you will still use it to buy honor. You still use it to procure prestige. You still use it to procure, but once you have that initially, it flows to you naturally.
And so you see that whether you like it or not, both directly and indirectly, this conversation impacts your finances.
That's correct.
Impacts how you relate with
How
people,
you make money,
how you make money,
how you spend the money, and then how money flows into you, even how you get recommended.
yes, and how you grow in your workplace.
Everywhere,
And so
everywhere,
now that we
everywhere.
have your attention, let's look at how a person even knows that they are not emotionally intelligent, because you have to be aware that you're lacking something before you go after acquiring whatever it is that you're lacking. And I pointed out earlier that emotional intelligence is not a topic that we discuss every other time. And you see how that, even with what is happening now with people's emotions going up and down,
Yeah,
you know that this is a conversation to have at this time.
That's right.
Right. So how does a person know that they are not emotionally intelligent? What are some of the things that you look out for in your life to point to, okay, Sunshine, this thing that people are talking about, I think I'm lacking it in my life, or so what are some of the things, examples you can give that people can look out for?
okay, so I'm not going to be very technical.
Yes.
I'm going to be very simple, straightforward to the point. The moment you know that every small thing bothers you, whether the one that concerns you and the one that doesn't concern you, then
Somebody said something in a bus.
thank you.
You don't even know the person.
You
person
don't know
doesn't
the person.
you.
You don't know everything. You know, I said it before that you are minding your business, and mind yourself. Drink water and drop. I mean, mind your
Mind your
business.
bu-
Drink
That's
water
what I
and
would say.
mind your
Yes,
business.
yes.
Do you understand? The moment something easily bothers you, take for instance, emotional intelligence begins from self-awareness. You need to know who you are. Now, when you don't know who you are, I'll give you an example, a story.
please.
I was in a transit in Lagos, and then somebody, you know how Lagos can be with rudeness and a lot of stuff like that.
Don't get me started.
Thank you. So someone just saw a man and said, something happened or something, and the guy was just insulting the man. You are a goat. You are an animal. I don't want to use some words that are, something. He was just calling that person. This man did not even talk. He was unbothered. He was unperturbed. No, somebody now asked him, Oga, no be you in this, say. The man say, Omo, before I come out for house today, I look in the mirror. I do not have horns on my head.
So I'm not a goat.
I'm not a queer. That man knows who he is. So once you don't know who you are, and somebody said you are so XYZ,
You assume the identity.
thank you. Because don't forget I said you are like a flag on the pole that is easily blown from every direction. So when you notice that particular one, that's one. Secondly, when you are envious, I hope you have time to talk about envy and jealousy.
Give examples.
And then when you are jealous, it is said that when God is blessing you, when God is blessing someone around you, it is an indication that He's in your neighborhood. So when you see other people's success and you assume their success is the reason why you are failing,
You're not emotionally intelligent.
scarcity mentality. The sky is big enough for everybody to fly. Nobody. The water where you go drink, it will not pass you. So when you believe that, when you are jealous and envious of somebody is running your race, and you are using someone else's time to run your race, the religious people said those who compare themselves to themselves, they are not wise. That means everybody who compare themselves with another person is not emotional. These are the little signs you begin to know that, I need to know who I am. I need to know. I told you that about 5 of them. So one of them is self-awareness, self-regulation. You regulate yourself. When you are aware, you regulate yourself. And then empathy. You put yourself in people's shoes. You are not doing what we call, there's a bias called fundamental attribution error. What is fundamental attribution error? Is when something happens to you, you believe is the will of God, or a mistake, or force majeure, natural occurrence. But when it happens to someone else, they are incompetent. Take for instance,
their fault.
It's their fault. So you came late to work, then there's traffic, or there was no light, or the internet is the network is low, the internet is low, is bad. But when someone comes late to work, that person is irresponsible, is
Doesn't take their
lazy,
job seriously.
he does not take his job serious. But why he be say, when it becomes your own. Take for instance,
Your examples or your excuses are
you
justified.
excuse your own, but when it is other people, it's a matter of character and who they are. But when it becomes you, maybe somebody had hit a wall with your car. If you are the one driving that car, we say thank God for life. Oh, now only car we go repair them. But if it is someone else who hits your car, deep down inside your heart, the person is a rough driver. He does not. That is to show the wretchedness of human nature and how selfish we are. So, but when we have empathy, don't get me wrong, empathy does not mean that we should excuse people's excesses and their whims and caprices. That's why balance comes in. Balance comes in. I hope we'll be able to have time to talk about emotional balance as well. You know, it's just like the mixer, you know, in your front. This mixer, for you to produce a good sound, all these knobs are not supposed to be on the same level.
Yes.
Some are the middle, some high, some every other places. That is balance. You're able to apportion and allocate your time, resources, and attention to things evenly. It may not be evenly, proportionately. Do you understand?
Yes.
You allocate it to them proportionally or proportionately, you know, as the case may be. So that is, you know, one of the reasons why empathy and then social cohesion. When you are with people, the way we relate with other people,
to live with other people.
ability, you know,
Exist
to know that.
with people, breathe fresh air, let other people breathe.
Thank you. Live, let live.
Yes.
Do you understand? So you know all of those things. So I hope with time we'll be able to achieve a lot of things.
I want us to talk about anger for a bit because
amazing.
Yes, because that's like one of the major should I say propeller to the violence that we experience in our various communities.
Yeah.
You know, and you see that this anger that I just mentioned now is as a result of somebody not being emotionally intelligent, especially with all of the examples that you gave. It can also trickle it down to anger, to somebody who is easily provoked.
Yeah.
Any little thing, the person is easily provoked. Now the question would be, you know, for a person who is listening to us and is saying, okay, I relate to everything that you're saying.
Yeah.
But sometimes what triggers my anger is maybe stress. A lot of pressure. You know, on a normal day, Mr. Gwenga, I'm able to regulate my emotions.
Yeah.
But you see, when Nigeria stress comes in,
When Nigeria happens to you.
do you understand?
Yeah.
You know, that part of me, some people would even say survival instinct. You want to show, you know, you want to show that I can handle myself in this situation, or
Yeah.
you want to like choose another person and just be king in that moment.
That's
it
right.
doesn't happen every time, but something triggers it. Maybe it's stress, maybe it's pressure and all of that.
Yeah.
How can, you know, somebody control that?
Okay, first and foremost, this is not a therapy session on anger management, but I'll be able to highlight key things that you can even run with and ensure that you manage your anger.
Yes.
So now, there's a myth or there is a misconception about emotional intelligence. People think people who are emotionally intelligent, they don't get angry. No, they get angry.
Okay, so people who are emotionally
Oh
intelligent
yeah,
get angry.
anger is valid. We are all human beings.
Okay.
Even the Holy Book, the Bible said you should be angry, but don't sin when you are angry. So that's a license for you to be angry.
So it's a valid
It's a
emotion.
valid emotion. And one of the things why you know somebody is emotionally intelligent is that you don't suppress your emotions. In this part of the world, they say men don't cry. Recently, we had, you know, your work with boys' child. You know, boys don't cry. Boys don't do this. Boys don't do that one.
Man
you know,
up.
man up. You know, don't show emotion. You know, as if you know a military ground and all of that. You cannot do it. Military, you have to just man up. So now, what I'm saying is that first and foremost, you need to understand that anger is a secondary emotion. When you say something is secondary, it then means that there's a primary emotion. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There's a primary emotion. One of the primary emotions for anger is frustration, disappointment, unmet expectation. See, I have a classic personal experience about anger as being a secondary emotion. Like that that Kenyan man that came for a show on Steve. Well, I don't know one of this
Steve Harvey?
Steve Harvey's show. He said anger, anger. You know, now anger being a secondary emotion, the primary ones I've mentioned them like that disappointment, hurt. You know, you did not get what you are looking for, and then have you had the terms transfer of aggression, transfer of anger? Now let me give you an example, a personal story. So when I got married, on the wedding day, you know, in Nigerian settings where you get married, sometimes you don't even have all the monies you use in getting married. So you hope that on the day of your event, as per Yoruba man na Owambe, they go spray you money so that you use that money that's remaining to go and offset some other things that are still remaining. So for me, personal experience, it happens to me. So I had two best men. So that day now, crowd, everybody, I was sprayed a lot of money, you know. Years back, to the tune of maybe about 600,000 or so. Then, not now that it was Goodluck that was in power at that time, you know. Now, I already have plans for that money.
Yes.
So one of the best.
So you were dancing, you were calculating the
God
money.
damn it. I was already texting and messaging the vendors that are remaining, but now calm down.
Yes.
Because as they are spreading, I was using it to calculate the bundles as everybody. I already have an idea.
I'm going to sort out everybody.
Oh
after
my
this.
goodness. And you know, at the end of the day, my teams were able to gather the money. They gave me figure, not that I was estimating. It was over 600. And I was giving that, so the money was given to one of my best men. Incidentally, the guy is a pastor now. But let me continue with my story. Was given to him. And suddenly, so we got to the hotel. And they say, where is the money? He said, money don't lose. Okay. Meanwhile, prior to that time, my wife had already warned me that I don't like this guy. You know, women with sixth sense. There's something about this guy that I don't like. First thing, when we were able to do the registry, the casing for, that's where the hard problem, the casing for our ring, it was so fine, so he took it away. So this guy now something else. So I don't want this guy. But you know, as per man now my guy now, you know, sometimes and that's one of the things we should know. Yes. Don't dismiss your partner's observation. I said no. He's a good guy. We are church guys. We are church boys. You know the problem. Together. We did. On I will reach hotel. They say money don't lose. I don't know how to tell my wife. And you know that kind of thing. I say family members are calling, are billing, they solve. Hey, what am I going to do? So my guys, I was able to wriggle out around. See, they know, they saw the money. I said, you know, guys, let me source all of these things out. They did that. I couldn't tell my wife. My wife was asking me, where is the money? You know, that's kind of thing that they say, let us come and count the money that they made us start, you know. And I was just managing the situation. I did not confess. So the following day, it was on Saturday. Monday, we were supposed to go for honeymoon. And I told my wife, okay, cook. Let us eat before we go. She said, you want to even cook? And we grew up from two different families. Our own family is a bit larger, and you know, as I feel, you know, and she's a girl child, boy child. So she cooked. So she came to my house as a bachelor then, and took as a wife now, in the morning on Monday, she took the biggest pot in the house and cooked rice and fill it. I say, first of all, we are just two. I know she's used to it. They cook every Sunday. People, when they go to church, for large amount of people. Follow my story. And then I just pack up. Why did you cook all this big rice? What is happening? What is the... she said, Oga, this matter pass rice. Just, okay, what's the problem? Okay, let me call my dad or my sister or my brother to bring one bag of rice so that this thing can... No! Why would you be wasting this thing? Do you know what is paining me? Do you know what I'm expressing? My best man.
The money that you could not talk about that was missing. You were now transferring aggression because of a pot of rice.
I was hungry. But disappointment.
Yes.
Hurt.
Frustration.
Pressure, stress. Those are the primary emotion that
the response is anger.
God damn it. Every hunger. Let me say. So what should I say? Oh boy, wait, this thing is more than rice. Now rice, what is the problem? That was when I confessed. He said, God, I I talk and God catch you. He catch you. I told you. She
you.
wanted to take it up, and I said, you know what? Just calm down. So that is to share. That is to show that, see what my expression is. See what trigger my emotion.
It's coming from somewhere.
Coming from somewhere. So when you are able to pay attention to those sources of anger, my brother, you'll be able, my sister, you'll be able to effectively manage those anger.
Yes, still hold your thoughts, because now that you've said that anger is a valid emotion and you've taken us through a journey as to how that, there's always primary
and secondary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Things that could trigger, anger and all of that. And sometimes it might not even be like a serious issue. It would just be something that had happened in the past and all of that.
Yeah.
The question will now be, because anger is a valid emotion and everybody has the right to be angry. If somebody hurts you, I mean, you should feel that somebody hurt you.
That's right.
The question would be, what's the difference between reacting and responding?
Amazing.
And why does it really matter that we pay attention to these two things? Reacting at that point, responding.
Okay, so when you're angry, first and foremost, there's a reason why you are angry. There's need. There's something that is necessitating that anger of yours. So now, when you're able to identify that, where is it coming from? We're talking about responding and reacting. Responding means you are taking time. I just want to put it into two segments. You are taking your time to know the source, why the person did that, and then the proportion to which you want to do your reaction. Because trust me, when you are angry, whatever you say or you do that period of time, it's just like taking a plate and you break it. Even if you say sorry afterward, what you have said, words are like eggs, it cannot come back again. So, but when you are responding, reacting is instant. Oh my goodness. They snap. Somebody said he slap you with one left cheeks, you turn the left one. I said no, you slap him with left cheeks, I slap my own back. In fact, I use the two hands to slap you because it's now with interest. So we will get there, and even talked about emotional bank account. That's at the level of people's management. And that's why when people, so now there's the difference between responding and reacting. When you are responding,
you're taking
time to process. And that doesn't mean that, now you can express yourself, right? And said, this thing that you do, I do not like it. Anger is valid, honestly. Because if you don't do that, you have low self-esteem. I've ever seen people who, no matter what they do for them, they are not even worthy to express themselves. But express yourself within the ambit of the law, within the context of what, intelligently, so that you can be able to know that this person's excesses, this person's whims, this person's caprices, or this person's of some form of lack of awareness, of lack of wisdom. I don't want to use the word foolishness or so, as it were, because that is an office as well. Like PK will say, somebody needs to be foolish for wisdom to have value. It's an office. So if somebody says somebody is foolish, it's not really insulting that person, though. That person is exhibiting some character that looks like a foolish person. So when you are reacting, it's instant. And sometimes you'll have done it before you know the consequences of what you are reacting to. But when you are responding, you're taking your time to estimate. And this thing, it's not like you have a paper and you are doing analysis and chart. Once you have trained yourself, just like the story of that man I gave in the bus, he knows who he is. So nobody can do what tell him who he is.
Can make him act out of character.
And let me tell you, people, out of the abundance of heart, the mouth speaks. The way people are, they project themselves on others. People project themselves onto others. Like, okay, this is me. That's what we call projection bias. So a dishonest person in business now thinks everybody in business is out to scam them. That is projection. His own feelings is projecting into others. So when you are able to take your time, within split seconds, you'll be able to manage, anger effectively.
So, what emotional intelligence is saying in this kind of situation is that anger is a valid emotion, but don't react, respond.
That's correct.
Take your time to process your
Analyze.
emotion. If it takes you moving out of that place,
Thank you.
move out of that place.
Thank you.
Don't respond as it
As
hot.
they all.
Let's come back to like,
Yeah.
you know, should I say like, is it a work setting now, or maybe in a relationship setting where somebody wants to always be accepted? You're doing everything possible for your husband to see you, for your wife to see that you're putting in the effort, to appreciate you, you know, for the people that you're working with to recognize you. You're working hard. You're doing your own job.
Yes.
But it's as if it's not being recognized. You know, could emotional intelligence be the issue in this kind of scenario? You know, it's not like you're not giving in your best. Work-wise, you're giving in your best. You're trying so much. I mean, from your own point of view, you know, you're doing so much for these people to accept me. I'm working so hard in the office, but my boss does not recognize me. It's difficult for me to please my wife. It's difficult for me to please my partner. You know, this kind of situation, is there an undertone of somebody lacking emotional intelligence?
Okay, so, you know, anything that has to do with two people, you'll be able to find out is a contributory pattern or, you know, or scenario.
Yes.
Life is about relationship, by the way. Yeah, we are all related, or we are relating with each other one at a time. Customer to supplier to customer, client to, you know, to the person who is for service provider. You guys here, the presenter and the guest and everybody, husband and wife, even in the leadership, we are relating with our leaders in the government setting. Now, when that is done, there is a very important concept in psychology called separation of task.
Okay.
Separation of task is your ability to know what is your own task and then what is other person's task. Now, when you can be able to do what is your own appropriately, some people are very difficult to please. So I'm not saying that emotional intelligence is that your boss is not appreciating you.
Yes.
Maybe he or she is battling with low self-esteem. Your partner, you cannot convince your partner. Maybe your partner is battling with trauma, childhood trauma, you know,
So
nature.
much is going on
So
with them.
much is going on with them. So there's nothing they can do. So when you are intelligent enough to separate the task, this is me. It's just like paddling on the sea or the river. There are some things you can control. There are some things you cannot control. But that paddle in your hand, the anchor, you can control it. But every other thing, the wind, you cannot do that. So your own ability is to tilt your boat toward in the direction of the wind so that you can have an advantage, you know, a vintage advantage so that you can move. So it is important for you to know what is your own. That when I haven't done what is yours and the person is still doing his village things, then you know. But the problem is that people don't even do enough to understand this is my task, these are not my task. Because trust me, there is nobody that cannot be won by love. I'm saying that again. I stand to be corrected, but study shows that when you appeal to people's emotion, no matter how bad or how deadening they are, once love is in place, self-esteem is repaired, you understand, self-image is restored, the person will be able to appreciate what you are doing. In relationship, let me land on that point. Relationship involves two things. You know, I've listed before that clients to supplier, service provider, everybody. Two things are involved in every relationship, whether it's romantic relationship, platonic relationship, what have you, parent-child relationship, husband and wife.
Work-based
There are
relationship.
two things, in fact, four, but in two categories.
Yes.
The first one is right. You're right as a partner. The second one is responsibility. Your responsibility. So you and I now, your right is my responsibility. My responsibility is your right. Do you understand? Now, life becomes conflict. Friction arises when everybody focus on their right. You're not supposed to be in opposite direction. Mutually inclusive. When you give me your right, when you do what is your right, my responsibility and need has been met. Is that not correct? When I do my own right, if you do your responsibility, what is mine automatically comes to me. Is that not? But when I also do my own right, my responsibility, what is yours right comes to you. Now let's flip the coin. If I'm talking about my right, or you're also talking about your own right, so there's a default. There's a misalignment. Something is missing. And so when you separate that, this is my own, I've been able to do my own. The other person's inability to see what you are doing, to appreciate what you are doing, is their task. If you can stay with them, stay with them. If you cannot, you go. Jim Ike, I saw his interview when he said something happens to him, he lost his spark. And he now became obsessive parent. And then he called his wife and said, babe, honestly, I don't know how long it will take for me to heal at this point in time. But if you can wait, please wait. If you cannot wait, they said they shook hand and beat each other away. He was able to identify his task. And the wife also was able to identify his task. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, it now becomes friction. In physics, when you apply lubricant or lubrication, friction is reduced. So responsibility, individual responsibility is the lubrication, is the lubricant for relationship. But when you focus on right. The second aspect is giving and forgiving.
Yes.
When you give, the person received. When the person received, he's also give. But when one person gives and hold it down, and the person no release them, what's the problem? It's just like banking transaction. You are collecting money from your account. You are withdrawing money every day.
You are not putting.
You are not. Thank you. One day when you go there, I just hope the person you meet at the desk wake up from the good side of the bed. If he wakes up from the good side of the bed, he will refer you to psychiatric hospital, maybe Yaba Left or Banawa Shopping Complex or Arrow. However, if the person did not wake up
it's not going to look good.
He's taking you to police station.
And this also brings us to the importance of investing in people's emotional bank accounts. I think you wanted to speak on it.
Yes.
Just land on it before we talk about emotional bank.
Yeah. So here's the thing: every humans have their emotional needs. When you show up, when people need emotional support, you have deposited into their bank account. Tomorrow, when you knock at their door.
They will open it to withdraw.
They will open it for you. You can have something to withdraw. Take for instance, a stranger meets me and said, give me your ATM card. I want to buy something.
Just like that.
So my brain, my emotional brain, meanwhile our brain is divided into the logical brain, the one that our emotional brain, and then our limbic brain, the one that we use for day-to-day task, what have you, like that have become part of us. When you know how to drive already, you don't think before you press brake because you accelerate and all that. Now, but there's an emotional brain that puts picture. When you see that person, it scan it, go straight to the database. What is the balance of Sunshine in my emotional bank account? What is she asking for? Truly, even people will ask for urgent 2K.
Yes.
If they give you, your emotional bank account is intact. If they say, sorry, I no get, it's a different ball game.
Yes.
Now, it's different. I will not give the person because there's nothing, that person does not have the balance sheet of that person, the ledger account of that person in me is negative. It does not even exist, insufficient fund, or the person does not even, customer not found. But if my wife or my daughter or my son comes to me and says, Daddy, I want to do this, there's a recognition, there's pattern. So you need to deliberately invest in people's emotional bank account.
When you talk about investing in people's emotional bank account, somebody might be thinking, oh, is it money?
Nah, not
Can
money.
you speak on that for a bit?
So this is how it is, yeah? So sometimes when people, and that's one thing with Nigerians or in that part of the world, when you see somebody who is lonely at the top, I've been with a lot of rich and top people that know that when you see a big man, everybody is coming to collect from them, but nobody is giving to them because they believe they have more than enough. No, they also have needs. So even if it is something they can afford, though, but ensure that when you go and see somebody, it's people's key. Don't go empty. Just go. Don't seek. He has not considered to seek him in vain. Don't go in vain. Don't go empty-handed. So when people are doing things, they have naming ceremony, they have birthday. Hello, don't type HBD. Don't type Lulu P or Lulu P. Wish them happy birthday. Remember important dates in their lives. Little things. Do you understand? Maybe on the randoms, just send them an email.
Just checking up.
I'm just checking. Don't even expect them to reply, but just send it to them. Do you understand? So that when you call, there are some people now when they call me, I know billing is a call. I feel not pick. There are some people, if I miss their call, it will pay me say, why I not pick this call once. So now it is better. Let me give you a trick. It's better somebody see your phone call and say, you don't even used to call somebody. Then they say, you don't they call again. So there's balance. Give people their place, also give people their space. Are you with me now?
Yes.
Give them their place, give them the honor they deserve, and then don't choke them. So because I said, okay, little thing, check up on it and all that, you are beginning to choke them. I also have a story. Somebody met me on Facebook, he say, hello sir, I've been seeing you online where you speak and all of that. I want you to be my mentor. Okay. But mentorship to me is not a larger event. People who I can look out for, that I can manage, that I can be able to, what is happening to them, and it's few. It's not like somebody has 10, but technology has made things better.
Yeah.
But for me, that is my experience or my, what I believe mentorship should be. But then the person said, okay, so it was already causing sin. I just gave the person my number. Okay, so you can reach me, all right, sir. So the person sent a message to me, hello sir, I'm the guy you gave message, you gave number the other day and all of that. I said, oh, thank you. I want to be my mentor. I said, okay, for now, there's no space. I have people I'm mentoring. Even me too, I need mentor. But I never get space now to do mentorship. So when it is time, I will let him say, okay, sir. The following day, the guy had me to a group, and he was sending me a devotional, daily devotional. Hello?
I hope we're picking.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Lessons from
And this is me, like me, my small me is doing like that. What about all big men?
So you get access to somebody.
Abuse of
Put the
access.
person in a group.
In a group
and
without
start sending them devotional.
It's two things, two crimes. I'm telling you, Baba add me to a group. Thank God that I have my group setting that when you want to add me to a group, you must invite
first.
me. That's one. Secondly, and then you added me to a broadcast. Hello?
And there are also some other young persons who go as far as, giving your number out. Boundary.
That's why give people their space, give people their place.
It's important that we're pointing all of these things out. I mean, even in all of the stories that you're telling, there's a thing or two I feel that young people can also pick in, some of the examples that you've been giving. Our time is fast spent, but I want us to begin to round up now. This conversation, like I pointed out earlier, is very important. I know that we might have been, telling some jokes and, making it soft, but like I said, it's a very important conversation. Young people need to begin to pay attention to emotional intelligence. During the course of this conversation, we talked about anger, which is also part of the issues that we have in our country at the time. Any little thing, violence everywhere, because somebody was not able to process their emotion. And you see that is where emotional intelligence comes in. And the question now, as we begin to round up, is what are some of the simple things that a young Nigerian who is listening to us now can start doing, from today to improve their emotional intelligence?
Yes. First of all, discover who you are. Know thyself. Know your triggers.
Yes.
Know what triggers you.
Yes.
Are you easily pushed aside? What is your limit? What are your triggers? So you need to know who you are, and by knowing who you are, sometimes you need to do some personality tests. Let's put it to this: maybe you are an extrovert or you are introvert. If you don't have enough money, there are so many tools online. If you don't have enough money to go and meet a professional, a therapist who will really tell you, okay, these are your strengths, psychologically, with using psychological tools, that can identify your strengths, your weaknesses, and all of that. But then, you yourself, basically this
Yes.
is this is and this is what we call this is an internet age. If you get go to my YouTube actually,
Yes.
you know, and do where to check. You have some videos there. I'm talking about biases and everyday psychology lives that people behave. So some of those videos, when you learn, when you watch them, when you see them, you'll be able to know that, okay, this applies to me, this does not apply to me,
Yes.
you know. And then when you have in a situation like this kind of program, or on the radio, you went to church, you went to mosque, you went to anywhere, event, seminar, have a notebook, draw it into two columns. When you heard something, what will I stop doing? What will I start doing? By so doing, gradually pay attention to yourself, know yourself, you'll be
Yes.
able to identify and know your triggers. And when you do that, and then the next thing is to begin to learn how to manage those things. All right. So first thing first, silence, quietness. See, there's what we call 3 seconds anger management. When something is happening, count 10 backward.
Okay.
Like somebody is talking to you now. Like somebody is talking to you. That's-
You're boiling
you are
already.
boiling, but count 10 backward. Like 10, 9, 8.
And it works?
7. Yes, very well. Take a deep breath. You know, it's not a straight line. You're
Yes.
not counting from the regular one that you are used to, like 1 to 10. That one is already in your default system. Even, do you understand what I'm saying? You know what is
You
next.
have to pay more attention to count
To
backwards.
counting backward is a bit difficult.
Yes.
You know, you're doing that. By the time you are doing that, your attention is divided. You are not focusing on. Do you understand what I'm saying? By that time, sometimes you might even skip what the person say. If the person say you are a something, you might add the other part and say, "Oh, okay, I'm glowing." So this person say, "You're
I'm
a
chilly.
goat." Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is one of the things why. But more importantly, know yourself, know your trigger, and then if you can, reach out to a mentor, reach out to a professional who can actually help you identify some of those things.
And our last question for today would be that if you could give an average Nigerian one emotional habit that would change their life, what would that be?
Gratitude. Gratitude. Gratitude.
Yes.
Appreciate who you are. Trust me. God will make me no make mistake. Do you understand? There's little you can do now about your physical appearance, except if you want to do surgery, if you want to do this, you want to do. But be grateful for who you are. When you practice gratitude, trust me. Trust me. In life, men are in life is in phases.
Yes.
Men are in sizes. So no go hang bag where your hand
Hand no
no go
fit reach.
reach. Just know you. Just do
Be
you.
grateful for where
Be
you are
grateful for
while
where
you're
you are.
walking
But
towards where you're
thank
going to get to.
Thank you.
Yes.
And if you remember, if you are grateful, where you are not, it is common saying that you are not where you want to be, but you are not where
You
you
used to be.
There's some level of progress. You know, the fact that you're even alive, you can give it another shot. What about people who don't go? What do they want to talk? What are people who, do you know how it is, how privileged and how rare it is for me to survive? Science, biological science says that when production is being made, is among the millions of you know, the elements that, you know, that wants to meet with the eggs, and I survive, out of millions. Do you know? See, there are a lot of things that we commonize. So let me tell you something. You post on social media and 100 people like your post, or you have insight, you see only 1,000. Do you know what it means if 100 people
You
come
think you
together
have not blown?
in one place? Well, I mean, if I can show picture how 100 people look like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 100, haba, no. So, and the thing about gratitude is that when you are grateful for the little,
Yes.
it will multiply, it will increase. See, somebody told me a story. There was a little girl that the parents said, if your friend has told you that I don't want to be your friend again, tell them that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. If you can teach your child at that tender age. You know, I was telling my daughter yesterday, I said, hey, I've told my student, I said, see, baby sugar, if anybody comes to school and tells you, I don't want to be your friend. Look into their eyes and say,
That's okay.
that's okay.
It's okay.
That's okay. It's not everybody that have eyes for good things. Don't be everybody go appreciate value.
Thank you. It's been such a great time, discussing this evening. And like I would always tell my people, beyond just getting this information, it's important that you apply it. Because that's when information becomes powerful.
Yeah.
The information that we've gotten today has the ability to change our lives. Like I said, emotional intelligence is something that we need as far as we're humans interacting with other humans in this Earth planet, right? So it's very, very important. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Gbenga Oba, for joining us on Grow with Sunshine this evening. Mr. Gbenga Oba is a psychologist. He is also interested in the growth and development of young people. He puts out content every other time on psychology that helps in your everyday life, right? So you can always go on social media. If the things that you heard this evening, really helped you, you can always get more content on his social media at The Gbenga Oba on all social media platforms, so that we get more insight. We become the things that we constantly hear. And it makes that when you continuously take in information like this, you see that you be better and you grow better as a young person living in Nigeria. With that being said, thank you one more time, Mr. Gbenga Oba, for joining us on Grow with Sunshine this evening.
Thank you.
You guys, this is where we're going to be calling it an evening on Grow with Sunshine right here on Bright 98.7 FM Abuja. Until we come your way next week Sunday, please stay safe out there and stay bright.
Confusion to clarity, from survival to success, and from fear to faith in your future. Every Sunday, we'll bring you real conversations about finding your true purpose, building skills that pay the bills, grabbing global opportunities, growing your mindset, creating wealth legally, and becoming the success story your family will celebrate. Join Chikezi Sunshine every Sunday from 7 p.m. on Bright FM 98.7 as we bring you practical wisdom from young adults who have walked the path before you. On your mark, get set, grow with Sunshine.
Find and like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram.
Tell your friends and family about us.
It's Bright 98.7.
Food, glorious food. Let's dig in. On the Foodie Show, where flavor speed, tasty treats, and chef's delight. We'll tell you what to eat and where to go for the tastiest meals, from fried plantain to burgers to begiri.